Today, we're diving into something that, let's be honest, affects every single part of our lives, our emotions. We're going to dig into the key lessons from Patrick King's work and see how mastering our inner world can totally reshape our reality. So, let's get right to it.
It's a pretty direct question, isn't it? But really think about it for a second. How often do feelings like anger or fear or even sadness get to call the shots in your day? You see, real power isn't about controlling everything that happens to us. It's about controlling how we respond.
To really get a grip on this, we're not just going to talk theory. We're going to follow the story of a young man named Ammon. His journey is a perfect way to see just how overwhelming emotions can feel, and more importantly, how they can absolutely be mastered.
So this was basically Ammon's everyday life. Little things, like someone cutting him off in traffic would just explode into full-blown anger. He was constantly worried about what might happen next, and any bit of criticism just cut him deep. He felt like he was a prisoner of his own reactions. Does any of that sound familiar? Maybe just a little bit. But then, something shifted. Ammon hit a real turning point. He met a mentor who gave him one single piece of advice that, honestly, changed everything for him.
And this, right here, this is the core idea of our entire explainer. Just let that sink in for a moment. The problem isn't the traffic jam. It's not the criticism. It's not the unexpected bill. The real problem is our uncontrolled reaction to it. Getting this shift in perspective is the very first and most important step to getting your freedom back.
Now, his mentor didn't just drop that quote and walk away. No. He gave Ammon a practical, actionable toolkit to work with. Let's break down the simple three-step method that he started with.
And the method itself is actually beautifully simple. First, you just have to name the feeling. Recognize it without judging it. Okay, I am feeling angry. Second, you create a gap, a pause. Seriously, even just a 10-second pause with one deep breath can stop a knee-jerk reaction in its tracks. And third, you actively change your perspective. Instead of thinking, this is a total disaster, you ask yourself, okay, what can I learn here?
So, that three-step method, that's your foundation. But, it's just like going to the gym. You can't just do it once and expect to be strong. Mastering your emotions means you have to consistently practice to build up that emotional muscle. So, let's see how this actually plays out.
Here, you can see the difference so clearly. On the left, you've got that automatic, impulsive reaction, right? The lashing out that just makes everything worse. But on the right, that's what happens when you apply the method. You pause, you actually listen, and then you choose a constructive response. The situation is exactly the same, but the outcome is completely different, all because you're the one in control. And beyond that core method, there are other awesome tools to add to your toolkit. Journaling, for instance, is a great way to get feelings out of your head and onto paper so they don't just bottle up inside. And if you're facing a huge, scary problem, you shrink it. Break it down into tiny, manageable steps. You can also literally rewire your brain by replacing those negative thoughts with positive ones. And this is a big one, protect your own energy by setting clear boundaries with people who drain your battery.
And we can see how this all came together for Ammon over time. This isn't an overnight fix. It's a skill you build. So on day one, he was still getting overwhelmed. But check it out. By week 4, he was consciously using the pause. And after 3 months of consistent work, he was a different person, tackling big projects with a calm and focus he never thought he had.
So after months of putting these ideas into practice, what was the end result? Let's take a look at Ammon's final transformation.
He did it. He achieved what he thought was impossible. He wasn't just pushing his feelings down, he was actually managing them. He could face criticism, setbacks, and stress, not as a victim, but as the calm, wise captain of his own ship. He had truly mastered his inner world.
And this, right here, this just nails it.
Emotional control isn't about being a robot and not feeling anything. No way. It's about creating that little space between what happens and your response. And inside that space is your ability to choose. That is real power.
This is the ultimate takeaway. If you remember one thing, let it be this. Life is gonna throw curveballs. Things are gonna happen that are completely out of our hands. We can't control that. But what we can always control 100% of the time is how we react. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Whether it's impatience, anxiety, or anger, what's the first emotion you're going to choose to recognize, pause, and reframe? Your journey to mastering your inner world starts with that one single choice.